What's up, y'all? Um, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about my testimony with the Lord. The Lord has placed it on my heart to share my testimony. I think it's very important that I speak my truth and I just start speaking again. Like, if you follow me on social media, you know, like, I've been very, like, I ain't been really saying too much for real. And it's really because I ain't really been having much to say. I've been getting my stuff, my life, me. Actually, correction, God has been getting me clean together. Straight together, honey. From the ground up. Straight up. And so, yeah, it's important to share my journey because I feel like we heal the world through connection and feeling seen through each other, because we're all just reflections of one another, truly. And so, yeah, bear with me because I haven't talked in front of a camera in a very long time. So this is a little like, what? Like, I gotta like learn how to do this all over again. But yeah, let's just get right into it, y'all. So let's go back in memory lane to my childhood. So I grew up in a Christian household. So we would go to church every Sunday, and I would also go to Sunday Bible school. Is that what's called? Bible study school. You know what I'm trying to say. I would go to Bible school, and I would go to church every Sunday. And if I'm being completely honest, I did not retain anything from going to church as a child. Like, I really didn't. And so, sometime in middle school, why is my skin itching? Sometime in middle school, we stopped going to church as a family. And so, when we stopped going to church as a family, I stopped going to church because clearly it did not really, I clearly didn't understand what I was being taught in church, or it really just didn't stick with me, honestly. So throughout middle school and throughout high school, I did not go to church. Now, I will say there was one time I remember I was trying to try to read the Bible, but I remember, because we had a Bible in my house, but I remember it being the King James Version, and I remember trying to read it, and I was just like confused, and so I think I just gave up. So there was that. And so, yeah, all throughout middle school and high school, I was not going to church. In fact, what I was doing was I was learning about different spiritualities. I was into New Age, and I was into, specifically, I feel like African spirituality. Really, I was really like drawn to that. So I was learning about, you know, ancestral worshiping. I was learning about meditating. I was learning about astrology. I was learning about tarot card readings, doing the spells. I'm not saying I was doing spells on people, but I was definitely reading about it. Crystals, astral projecting, all of that stuff. I was into it. I was reading it. I would say I was practicing. I was practicing subliminal messaging. I was practicing affirmations, shadow work, crystals, and tarot reading and astrology. Like, that was my jam. That was my stuff for real. All throughout high school. That's what I was into. And I was doing that for a few years. And I remember just having pages. I was deep into like personal development. I've always been into personal development. I've always been about bettering myself as an individual. That's just something that has been instilled in me. I've always been someone who has wanted to become a better person. And so I would have journals and journals filled with just doing different prompts, doing shadow work, doing affirmations, like just trying to be a better woman, you know? And I feel like it kind of worked, but to be honest, it didn't really work. It really didn't work. And I got to a point, excuse me, I had got to a point where I'm just like, I've been doing the work. Like, why do I feel like my life is still in shambles? Why do I still feel empty? Why do I still feel like I still felt empty inside? I still felt lost. I was still hanging around the wrong people. I was still entertaining people that I shouldn't have been entertaining. Like, I was still self-sabotaging. I was still escaping from my reality. But I just felt like my life was not getting any better. And so about 3 years ago, God knocked on my door. And there was something in the back of my head that told me, how about you start building a relationship with the Lord? Like, how about we try that again? Because clearly, pause, I am cold. I'm cold. Like, I can't get at the right body temperature. First I'm cold, then I'm hot. Then I'm cold, then I'm hot. Like, y'all, it's almost 3 a.m. in the morning, and I am determined to get this video done. I don't care how long it takes me. That's how like serious I am about sharing my story, because it's healing for me to talk again. It's healing for me to speak about what I'm going through and like my journey and things of that nature. So, okay, I got the heater on. We should be cool. But yeah, I'm doing all this work. Like, my life is not improving the way I feel like it should have been. I feel like I was starting all these different businesses. I was joining all these different communities, and like still haven't found my community yet. Still haven't found my tribe of people yet. Like, excuse me if I'm shivering, I'm cold, y'all. And I just felt like this is not working. And it's not working because, babe, it's not meant to work, because it's not what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, something in my intuition told me, like, how about we start building a relationship with the Lord, Jesus Christ? And so that's exactly what I did. So first it started out, I was just watching a bunch of videos on YouTube just to get an idea of how other people are building a relationship with the Lord. And so once I got an understanding of that, boom, I started putting it into practice. So I started to watch online services. I just started with like very small, like just what, sorry guys, I'm like shivering right now. What the hell? I'm trying to stop cursing, y'all. I still curse sometimes, but my bad, y'all. I told y'all it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't care though. I don't care. Yeah. So first it started off, I was just doing sermons, like watching sermons online once a week, and I would take notes. Then it migrated into me like spending time with God. So that would look like me going to different parks and literally just talking to God and reading my Bible and praying. And then it led me to about like 2 months in. At this point, I was like looking for a church, and I'm gonna tell this story eventually, but I don't think I'm gonna share it in this video because it's gonna take way too long. And to be honest, I just don't have all my thoughts together. But long story short, about 2 months into me building a relationship with the Lord, I meet these women at Walmart, and they invite me to their church because I was looking for a church at the time. So the interaction I had with them basically went like this. I was in Walmart. As I'm leaving Walmart, this woman comes up to me and she asked me, do I believe in God? I'm like, yes, I believe in God. And she's like, do you go to church? I'm like, no, but I'm currently looking to go to a church. So she invites me to a Bible study. And I go to the Bible study the next day. Long story short, I was in a cult for like a year and a half, unknowingly. I definitely was getting signs like within the first month of me going there, but like, and I brought it to their attention because I was doing my research about this church, and I brought it to their attention. I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to see stories about y'all on YouTube. Like, what is this about? And they're like, you shouldn't watch anything online because it will taint your understanding of the truth. I didn't really believe that, but I had a long conversation with one of my mentors that was at that church, and she basically like talked me out of it. So I kept going, and I was there for like almost 2 years. But if you guys want a story time on that, actually, I'm not gonna ask if y'all want a story time on that. I will tell it. I'm gonna tell it, but I'm not gonna tell it in this video because, like I said, this video would be 2 hours long if I tried to tell that story. But yeah, so literally 2 months into me building my relationship with the Lord, I'm in this church that I'm thinking like, okay, this is like divinely guided. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, it truly felt like that in the beginning though. Like, but I just felt like at that time in my life, I was an easy target because I didn't have much knowledge on the Bible, and I was just like vulnerable. Like, I wanted community. I wanted to be around like-minded individuals. And so I stayed, even though something in the back of my mind, I knew something wasn't right. I did. But yeah, so about a year and a half, almost 2 years, I was at that church. And then I had finally got to a point, like things just started unfolding more and more and more. And I just started to observe things more. And I was just not liking what I was seeing. I wasn't. And I eventually had the courage to leave that church. And after that, I was like scarred for a little bit. I can't remember. Was I like back to like, I think I was like done for a while. I wasn't really doing much. Like, I still believed in God, but I don't think I was actively building my relationship with the Lord. I don't know. I don't think I was. I think after that, I was just like chilling, working, and like whatever at the time I was doing. So yeah, that place is definitely a cult, for sure. And they're called the World Mission Society Church of God, period. That's what it was. So be aware of them because they go out recruiting people all over Illinois. So yeah, I'll tell that story soon, this year, for sure. But that, I got out of that church like, what, in the beginning of 2024? Like, I feel like it was in like May of 2024 is when I left that church. And so yeah, I go on about my life, living my life, going to work and doing YouTube. I was doing YouTube videos again, I think, or no, was I? Oh my gosh. Not, I just went blank. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Sorry, I went blank there for a second. So yeah, like I said, this was in May of 2024. I had the courage to finally leave because I was just feeling for a really long time like throughout the beginning of 2024 and even at the end of 2023 into 2024, I just started to feel like out of place more and more and more. And I did not like what I was observing at that church. And so I just finally left. So the remaining of 2024, I just go on about my life, doing what I was doing at that time, working and whatever else. So then 2025 comes, and let me just say this. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all right now. 2025 was it was a bad year for me. It was bad. Okay. At the same time, it was good though. Like, I had a lot of good, great moments. But it was overall how I felt. It was bad. And I really think it was it was bad. My health was in the worst condition it could have possibly been in. So the good part of 2025 was I got hired. I was out of a job for a couple of months. After August of 2024, I left that job I was at in Clean Juice. Well, actually, I didn't leave. I got fired. And I got fired because the assistant manager hated me. He hated my guts. And we were the only one working there. Look, that's another story, child. I got fired from that job because the assistant manager had a one-up on me. It was mainly guys running that place. They wanted me out of their child, so they fired me. So I was out of a job from August all the way to the end of 2024. And then January 2025 comes, I unexpectedly get a job at MAC. What? Mind you, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I went to cosmetology school, so that's really all I had as far as experience. But I had no experience with makeup at all. We did makeup here and there in cosmetology school, but it was nothing for real. So, and I straight up told them that, I don't have much experience with makeup. I can do a little something. But I unexpectedly got a job at MAC. And I hate that I got a job there at that time period, because like I said, my health was so bad. I have so much to share, but basically, I was dealing with, I have to be careful because I believe that what you speak over yourself is what becomes. And so I don't want to claim that. I'm not claiming that sickness. But what I was experiencing was a lot of inflammation in my body to where I could barely walk. My feet were swollen. My joints were swollen and my feet were swollen on and off all throughout 2025. And I just felt like an 85-year-old woman. I'm not even kidding. It was terrible. And it just sucks because I'm sure these people was talking crap about me. I know they were. They're probably what? This girl what is wrong with her? I'm walking around limping. People are always asking me why are you limping? I had to call off of work a lot. I was, and then on top of that, my father, his health was in turmoil. He had heart attacks, and there was deaths, and there was deaths in 2025, back to back to back in my family. My dad's health was at at the worst it could possibly be. It was just too much. 2025, bro, was the worst. I'm not even gonna lie. It was bad. So my mental health was in the motherfucking dirt. It was terrible. It was bad. And so all that was happening, but I just got this job at MAC. And so so I start this job at MAC, and I'm really excited because I love beauty. You know, I didn't really know how to do makeup, but, you know, luckily when I started working there, the people I was working with, for the most part, they was cool. But they were also, like, they were all, like, already, like, very close with each other. And, like always, I felt like the outcast, like, straight up. I felt like the outcast. You know, they were nice. They were nice. It was cool, but deep down, I felt like an outcast. I just felt like, oh my God, this is how I feel at every single job I go to. I'm always the outcast. I'm always the one that don't really feel connected with the people I'm working with, for real. And at the end of the day, like, a job is a job. Like, we're not really there to make friends, but it makes the job more enjoyable if you're cool with your coworkers and, like, y'all are cool with each other and it's like genuine connections. And I just never had that. I never had that experience. Every single job it's been the same cycle. I get there, everyone's cool in the beginning, and then things just start getting weird. It just starts getting weird. The energy starts getting weird, and that's eventually what happened at Mac. Okay? Straight, I'm gonna just be honest. Again, they taught me everything. They taught me a lot at that job. Okay? Now I know how to do eyeshadow. I never knew how to do eyeshadow. I know how to do my makeup. I'm very grateful for that experience. But during that year, 2025, when I was working at Mac, my health was at an all-time low. My mental health was in the dirt. Like, it was bad, okay? So I'm experiencing all that, but then I have to come to work and just pretend like I'm okay. And not like, because I genuinely, like, if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel like, y'all are my people for real, I'm gonna be cordial, I'm gonna be kind, I'm gonna do my job, mind my business, and go home, right? Well, it just started getting to a point. My manager was having problems with me because I would be showing up late. I would be showing up late to work often because I was dealing with so much stuff, like, that I would be late a lot. I would. And I'm gonna be honest, time management has never been really my greatest trait. That was something about me. I was late a lot at jobs. I would do a good job though. I was a good employee. I would do my job. I was always very kind. I would never really show how I was truly feeling on the inside. I was always kind and I did my best, but I was late. And so keep that in mind, because that's something that these jobs had over me, is my tardiness. And so I'm dealing with all these health issues. My dad is going through all this stuff with his health. I'm having deaths in my family back to back. And I'm supposed to show up to work and put a smile on my face. Okay. It just got to a point. And on top of that, I already feel out of place. I already feel like genuinely I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. I always felt like that at every job. It always just felt like I was not supposed to be here. And so it just got to a point where I didn't care anymore. I didn't care because I just seen how they operate, how other people operated at the job. And so I really just didn't care. And that's genuinely not good. That's not good. That's not how you're supposed to show up at a job. You're not supposed to just not care, like, but I didn't care. I was dealing with too much stuff and I genuinely just didn't care anymore. And so fast forward to this year. Okay. Fast forward to this year. It's February. In the beginning of February, they call me, well, throughout 2025, my manager at the time would have talks with me, just verbal talks with me, telling me I need to improve my attendance. Like, I'm sorry, like, I understand it would just be days I'd wake up, my feet were swollen. I had to wrap my feet in a wrap. And we had to wear certain attire, certain shoes. So I had to wear these uncomfortable shoes, black dressy shoes that were uncomfortable. And I'm dealing with swollen feet. And I got to come to work and stand for 8 hours and be around people that I don't feel I'm vibing with for real. And I got to put on a smile and be happy. And it's just, I got tired of it. I got tired of it, straight up. So come February, in the beginning of February, management had changed at this point. We got a whole new manager. There was a new lead at Macy's because I was working at the Mac inside of Macy's. They call me in the office and they have a verbal meeting with me about my attendance and asking me why am I late all the time. And I straight up tell them I was dealing with a lot in 2025. Mind you, I'm telling them all this. I know they don't care. None of these people care. They don't care about me. They don't give a shit. For real, they don't. So I'm telling them all these things that I was dealing with, and they tell me, okay, we're gonna give you 13 weeks to improve your attendance, right? Mind you, I'm about to go on vacation for a week. And like I said, we had just got a new manager, so I didn't know how to put it in the system that I was gonna go on vacation for a week. So I had asked the new beauty manager, like, I had told her, like, I'm going on vacation, like, is this okay? And she told me it should be fine, it should be okay. She let the new manager know. Cool. I got approved. So I go on my vacation. And then the second to last day, I get an email. That says benefits after separation. What the hell does that mean? I asked my boyfriend, what do you think this means? He's like, I don't know, but it might mean you might be fired, babes. And I'm like, no way. Like, ain't no way y'all just did this to me. Ain't no way y'all just snaked me like this, bro. Child, the last day of my vacation, I try to log into my account to see my schedule. Can't log into my account. Oh, okay. So I text my manager asking her for my schedule because I can't log into my account. She doesn't text me back for a few hours, so I text her again like, hey, I'm trying to get my schedule. She's talking about I'll text you later when I get to work. Babe, you could have just told me right then and there. Like, what she did is she seen that I texted her, sent me that text back talking about I'll let you know when I get to work, and then she told somebody, oh, she's, because they were trying to contact me. I was out the country, so they couldn't get a hold of me. So, because it just so happens that after I text her and she tells me that she's gonna text me back when she gets to work, it just so happens 5 minutes later I get a call from Macy's. Oh, okay, so you contacted them and told them to tell me because you couldn't tell me. Cool. So I get a call from the higher ups at Macy's basically telling me they've been trying to contact me to tell me that they have separated me from the job. They let me go. I got laid off. What? Like, what are you talking about? I got approved to go on vacation. Why are y'all laying me off? Oh, well, your tardiness, and you haven't really improved your tardiness, but you just told me that I had 13 weeks to improve my tardiness. Now you just decided to fire me? Cool. So I'm on vacation. This is the last day. Honestly, y'all, I was mad for a good 15 minutes. I got off the phone with the woman. I stormed off. I was mad for about 15 minutes. And I even tried to cry. Because I'm like, ain't no way they just did this to me. Ain't no way. Like, is you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? But then 15 minutes later, I was relieved. Because honestly, they really beat me to the punch. Because prior to me going on vacation, I was praying to God, asking God, God, just give me the sign to quit this job and I will. Whole time he was waiting on me to make the move. Like, babe, we're supposed to leave this job. We're supposed to leave. I wasn't supposed to work a job. I'm not meant to work a job. That's the whole point here. I'm not meant to work a job. And for the longest time, I never had the courage to not work a job, because that's just what I've been programmed to do. Like, all my life is to work a 9 to 5, work a job. It was a comfort. It was a cushion for me. It was a comfort. It was comforting to have a 9 to 5. And I didn't have faith in the Lord like I have faith in the Lord now. And yeah, so I was already planning on quitting. So it was like, after that 15 minutes of me getting off that phone call with that lady, I was relieved. I'm like, truly, fuck y'all. Like, cool. Like, I got everything I needed to get out of that job to pivot and do my own thing. I don't need a job. I don't need Macy's. I don't need Mac. I don't need any of these jobs, because truly, they don't care. They don't care. You're nothing but another employee. Yes, some people are lucky enough to have jobs where you are truly cared for and treated with love and respect, but that was not my experience. Every job, it was the same BS. So, child, I was relieved. I enjoyed the rest of my vacation, and I was like, all right, cool. So I guess we're doing this now, like, because I'm not working another job. I told myself that was going to be my last job, and I ain't looked back since. And it's just been like the best thing ever. Like, truly, like, I have so much faith in God that because I have that much faith, things just always end up working out in my favor. Like, things have been working out perfectly fine. I am good. I'm not worried. I'm not stressed about money. I'm not stressed about none of this, because none of this stuff is going to matter in the end. All of this stuff is worldly. I'm not stressed about nothing, because my faith is so rooted in the Lord. And because my faith is so strong, he literally provides. Like, I can't even explain it, G, but it's real. Like, and so, yeah. And I'm going to be real raw with y'all right now. I didn't really start this is when my relationship with the Lord pivoted. When I really started to be obedient. Meaning what? Putting down my vice. Putting down the weed. Man, that's been the hardest battle. Putting down the weed, no weed, no drinking. I don't drink anyways. I've never been a drinker, but the weed. That was something I was even trying to like play God. I was like, well, if I just smoke a blunt like every couple of days, that's fine. Like, I should be good. I'm still praying. I'm still reading my Bible. Like, girl, no, it does not work like that. There's certain periods in time in your life where you have to put that stuff away. You need to be clear. You need to cleanse your flesh so that God can operate in you. Like, it's a process. He's been taking me through a process. I've been going through so many different processes, and they've been hard. They've been so hard, but they've been so rewarding. And what I've prayed for the most is I've been praying to God to give me the strength to be obedient to you, Lord. Give me the passion to be obedient to you, Lord. Give me the passion for the word of God. Give me the passion to love reading the word. Give me the strength to be obedient to you, Lord. Help me to be obedient to you. Like, I've been praying for that, and that, literally, prayers like that, God answers right away. And I'm telling you, like, I haven't smoked weed in 3 weeks, and I feel great. I feel like I have so much more energy. I feel so much more like aligned with God. I feel like I can feel the Holy Spirit in me. I didn't start really being obedient until the end of February, and already things have been rapidly changing within my life, within myself, specifically within myself. I've seen rapid growth since my obedience to God. So if there's things that you need to put down, pray on it. Pray on it every single day, multiple times a day, and God will answer that prayer. I'm telling you. because I ain't gonna lie, yeah, sometimes the craving does come up to smoke, but it's not strong. It's not like strong enough for where I'm gonna go do it. I'm not. I'm at that point like I cannot do it. Absolutely not. And even if I do it, I wouldn't really be stressed. I'm just gonna like go on with my journey and just keep going, but I'm not even about to do that. Like, I don't have time for that. My path, God has made my path so clear now, to the point where it's like, I'm just at a point where it's like, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm actively choosing to self-sabotage, and I've already come this far. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to do that. So yeah, smoking weed, you know, just certain things that I had to put down in my life. I had to stop doing. God has been stripping me and building me up from the ground up. And it's extremely rewarding. I feel so powerful. I feel unstoppable. Truly. And so yeah, that's pretty much my testimony. I'm just like, I'm on fire. I'm on fire for the Lord, truly. Like, I've reached a point in my journey, I cannot go a day without acknowledging God. I have to talk to him every single day. I pray multiple times a day. I have come to the point where like I try to include God in every single decision that I'm making, because I know it will be blessed, because I included God in it. No, I'm not relying on myself anymore. I tried to rely on myself. I tried to do this life without the Lord. I can't do it. I cannot do it. No. And it's crazy out here. This world is crazy. People are crazy. People are crazy, for real. And they're deceitful, and you need to have very strong discernment, and you need to be protected. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not here to convince anybody nothing. I'm just sharing with y'all my journey. Simple as that. And so I'm very, very excited for this year. I'm very excited for where God is taking me, truly. And yeah, I'm excited. What else can I say? Yeah, I have a lot in store. I don't really want to talk about it. Y'all are just gonna have to wait and see. So that's my story. If you stayed until the end, I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.